The tragic truth about Kenny Perry has finally been revealed, and it changes everything we thought we knew about one of golf's most complex figures. While most fans remember him as the guy who almost won the Masters at 48, the real story goes much deeper into controversy, heartbreak, and a decision that would shock the golf world. Kenny Perry's career defied every rule in professional sports. Most athletes peak in their 20s or early 30s, but Perry was just getting started. He turned pro in 1982, but here's the crazy part. 23 of his 26 professional wins came after he turned 40. That's not normal. That's not how sports work. Yet there he was, reaching his career high ranking of world number 4 at age 48, proving that sometimes the best comes last. But success at that age came with a price. Perry wasn't just competing against younger players anymore. He was fighting time itself, and the choices he made during his peak years would haunt him forever. The first controversy hit in 2008 during what Perry himself called one of his best 2 years on tour. He was playing incredible golf, making cuts in 10 of his first 11 tournaments. From mid-May, he had 6 top 10 finishes in 8 starts, including 3 significant victories at the Memorial Tournament, the Buick Open, and the John Deere Classic. He was on fire, and everyone knew it. Then he made a decision that split the golf world in half. Despite playing the best golf of his life, Perry chose to skip major championships. He pulled out of the Open Championship and withdrew from the PGA Championship, all to focus on making the Ryder Cup team. The backlash was immediate and brutal. Critics called him disrespectful to the sport's traditions. Some questioned whether he had become rich enough to not care about the things that the majority of people care the most about. Golf purists were outraged. Here was a player in peak form, deliberately avoiding the tournaments that define careers, all for a team event. To many, it felt like betrayal. But Perry had his reasons. The Ryder Cup was being held at Valhalla Golf Club in Kentucky, his home state. For a guy who grew up in Franklin, Kentucky, where people still call him just Kenny instead of the pro golfer, this wasn't about money or rankings. This was about representing home on home soil. The gamble paid off, at least temporarily. Perry played a crucial role in Team USA's victory over Europe, with a final score of 16.5 to 11.5. It was America's first Ryder Cup win since 1999. His individual performance included having a morning foursome with Jim Furyk, winning another foursome, losing a 4-ball, and securing a crucial win in his singles match against Henrik Stenson. Perry and fellow Kentuckian J.B. Holmes were named Kentuckians of the Year by Kentucky Monthly magazine. For a moment, the criticism seemed worth it, but that moment wouldn't last long. In 2009, Perry started strong with a victory at the FBR Open, now known as the Waste Management Phoenix Open. He defeated Charlie Hoffman in a playoff with a final score of 14 under par 270. It was his 13th career PGA Tour win, and momentum was building towards something special. Then came the 2009 Masters Tournament, and with it, one of golf's most heartbreaking collapses. At 48 years old, Perry stood on the verge of making history. He was poised to become the oldest Masters champion and major winner in golf history. He entered the final day as the 54-hole co-leader and held a 2-stroke lead with only 2 holes remaining. Victory was within reach. The green jacket was practically in his hands. What happened next still haunts golf fans today. Perry bogeyed both the 17th and 18th holes in regulation play, failing to find the green in regulation on these crucial holes. On the crucial 18th hole, he missed a critical 15-foot putt to save par, forcing a 3-way sudden death playoff against Angel Cabrera and Chad Campbell. The playoff was torture. On the first extra hole, Perry made par, matching Cabrera, while Campbell was eliminated with a bogey. The drama continued to the second extra hole, where Perry missed the green from the middle of the fairway and overran his pitch shot, resulting in another bogey. Cabrera capitalized with a par, securing the green jacket while Perry watched his dreams slip away. The emotional aftermath was overwhelming. Perry received over 700 letters and emails, including a personal note from former President George W. Bush. The public felt his heartbreak, but the damage to his legacy was done. This loss, combined with his 1996 PGA Championship playoff loss, cemented his narrative as one of the winningest and highest all-time PGA Tour money winners without a major championship. When you're watching sports and need to catch every crucial moment, like Perry's dramatic collapses and comebacks, you need reliable streaming that won't let you down. That's where Fubo comes in, giving you access to live sports coverage across multiple networks so you never miss the action when it matters most. Unlike Perry's putting on those final holes, Fubo delivers when the pressure's on. But Perry's struggles weren't just mental. Physical problems were mounting behind the scenes. Problems that would explain some of his inconsistency and add another layer of tragedy to his story. Perry had undergone 2 LASIK surgeries, the initial procedure around 1998 and an enhancement 1 to 2 years later. Despite these interventions, he continued experiencing vision challenges that forced him to start wearing contacts in 2007 and glasses at night. The surgeries that were supposed to improve his game were actually hurting it. In May 2008, Perry made a candid admission that revealed the extent of his problems. "I just don't read the greens very good anymore. I don't know if I can't see. I don't know what it is. My contacts are just good for distance out." For a professional golfer, admitting you can't read greens properly is like a surgeon saying they can't see clearly during operations. The situation got worse. Perry had to withdraw from the 2008 PGA Championship due to a scratched and infected cornea. He explained that his LASIK lenses had a hard center and flattened out at the end, leading to infection. His doctor told him to rest his eyes by keeping the contacts out. The painful treatment with cortisone and steroids made competing nearly impossible. So when critics blasted Perry for skipping majors in 2008, they didn't know the full story. Yes, he wanted to focus on the Ryder Cup, but he was also dealing with serious vision problems that made high-level competition extremely difficult. The man who was supposed to be in his prime was fighting battles on multiple fronts. LASIK complications can include conditions like diffuse lamellar keratitis and infectious keratitis. Perry's description of an infection aligns with these potentially devastating complications. The inflammatory response characterized by white blood cell infiltration between the LASIK flap and corneal stroma often requires steroid treatment, which can sometimes lead to further vision complications if not managed properly. Perry's major championship record tells the story of missed opportunities and near misses. In 52 major championship appearances from 2000 to 2009, he made 37 cuts but never broke through for that elusive victory. He had 2 second-place finishes, 1 third-place finish, 3 top 5 finishes, and 6 top 10 finishes. The numbers show consistency and competitiveness, but also the cruel reality that sometimes being good isn't enough. The man who should have been celebrating major championships was instead known for the ones that got away. His career earnings exceeded $32 million, making him one of the highest-earning players never to win a major on the main tour. It's a distinction that no professional golfer wants. As Perry aged, the physical toll became undeniable. The LASIK complications continued affecting his putting, the most crucial aspect of scoring in golf. His candid admission about not being able to read greens highlighted how even seemingly minor health issues can devastate a career demanding such precise visual acuity. But the biggest challenge was yet to come, and it had nothing to do with golf. In November 2021, Perry walked away from PGA Tour champions and hasn't featured on the tour full-time since. This wasn't a gradual wind-down or a natural career conclusion. This was a deliberate and profound retirement from consistent professional competition, and the reason was heartbreaking. Perry's wife of over 40 years, Sandy, had been diagnosed with early-onset Alzheimer's disease. Sandy faced specific challenges, struggling not so much with long-term memory, but with the here and now, and with performing simple tasks she once performed with ease. For a couple that had been together through every triumph and setback of Perry's career, this diagnosis changed everything. The breaking point came at a U.S. Senior Open when Sandy, who was supposed to be following Perry during his round, had somehow wandered off to a different 18 holes at the facility. Perry found her eventually, but the incident terrified him. "That was my line in the sand," he said. "It was time to get home to Franklin, to take care of Sandy." So the man who had spent decades chasing golf balls around the world made his final, most important decision. He chose love over legacy, family over fame, caregiving over competition, Perry embraced his new role as Sandy's full-time caretaker, navigating what he describes as an unfathomable dark tunnel. Despite the challenges, Perry maintains a positive perspective. "She's healthy and she's happy," he says. "We laugh a lot." He emphasizes the importance of Sandy seeing their grandchildren as much as possible, dreading that day when the light switch goes off and she won't know anybody. Throughout his career, Perry demonstrated values that extended beyond conventional measures of success. He built an 18-hole public golf course in Franklin, not for profit, but because Simpson County had no other public courses. He regularly donated 5% of his winnings to provide scholarships for local students. He received the prestigious Payne Stewart Award in 2009 for his respect for golf's traditions, commitment to charity, and professionalism. In the end, Kenny Perry didn't get the major championship that would have completed his resume. He didn't get the perfect ending that his late career dominance seemed to promise. Instead, he got something different, a legacy built on choices that prioritize meaning over medals, love over trophies, and family over fame. Maybe that's not the story golf wanted, but it's the story the sport needed. Perry proved that sometimes the most important victories happen when nobody's keeping score.